All right, so I want to talk about your defaults for the transmitter. So let's go into transmitter settings and let's go into system settings. And this is where you set your language, the sound, the type of sound that the alarm will make, the volume on the sound. Mine is set for 75%. All these were my defaults. All right, so let's go to the next page. And I've got mine set up for being powered by a 2S LiPo, all right? But you can select AA, you can select 2S, you can select 3S. And I've got my battery alarm set for 6.6 volts for the pack. And so that should give me an alarm when the battery cells get down to 3.3 volts, all right? And then if the pack gets down to 6.4 volts or 3.2 volts per cell, then I want it to automatically power off the transmitter. And then you have calibration of your voltage. So what I did, since I've got a 2S LiPo in there, what I did was I pulled out my battery meter and I connected the balance cable to the battery meter to get a voltage reading on what the pack currently was. And then I powered up the transmitter and looked at what the voltage was being reported up here at the top. So the transmitter was reporting the exact same voltage that my battery meter was reporting. So I didn't have to make any adjustments on the voltage calibration for the transmitter. But in case you have to do that, you would do that here, whether you need to lower the reported voltage or increase it. But make sure that you do, use something like a battery meter to calibrate that, okay? I've got my brightness on the screen set for 80%. I've got my backlight set for 3 minutes, and then, of course, it will dim. All right, and then if we go up to the next screen, I've got my idle alarm. So if nothing has changed on the transmitter has just been setting idle for 15 minutes, it will give me an alarm. After 20 minutes, it'll automatically shut the transmitter down. Now, I have occasionally, not very frequently, but I have occasionally forgotten to power off the transmitter. So that's a nice feature to have. You don't want it to run your batteries all the way down. But in case it does, you've already got your minimum voltage set for your battery, right? So even if you don't hear the alarm, it'll automatically shut down in 20 minutes, or it will automatically shut off when the voltage in your pack gets to the level that you've set. So prevents you from ruining your batteries. All right, so that's page 3 of 3. So we can back out of this screen. All right, let's go into stick mode. And mine is set for mode 2, so my throttle and rudder on the left-hand stick, the elevator and aileron on the right-hand stick. This is also where you would perform your calibration. So you can set it up for mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, mode 4, or custom. If you want to set up some type of custom setup for your sticks, you can do that. And so all the modes are selected right here, which makes it really easy, right? All right, and then let me see, switch settings. I always like to check this too. I like all of my switches to be in the up position by default, all right? I always have my throttle switch in the up position so that my throttle is disabled as long as my throttle safety switch is in the default position. So I have all of my switches in the up position as my defaults. There has been in occasions where I have accidentally bumped a switch, right? Or I have forgotten to reset my throttle safety switch. And so when I power on the transmitter, if those switches are not in their default position, I want it to let me know. That way, I don't accidentally hit the throttle and spin the prop up when I'm not ready for it. I don't take a chance on my gyro being disabled on launch. So as long as you make sure that all of your switches are in the proper position, you shouldn't have any bad things happen, by accident. So if you go into the switch settings, here it shows you switch A through switch D. Switch A, B, and C are 3-position switches on this transmitter, and switch D is a 2-position switch. So now if we go over to the second page, this is where you will enable or disable the switch self-check. So I've got mine set so that it does alert me, and now it's off. I want to turn it on. And so right here you can set what you want your default to be. for a 3-position switch, is your default going to be up, middle, or down, right? And so it's the same for all 3 of the 3-position switches. And then on switch D, which is a 2-position switch, you want it to be either up or you want it to be down, right? There's not going to be any middle for that switch. So as you can see, I've got the defaults on mine set for the up position. And if when I boot up the transmitter, if there's any switch that is not in that position, it will let me know. And then your boot settings, you can enable or disable the animation when the transmitter boots up. I think it's kind of neat, so I just leave it. And then you can go into your theme settings and you can set whatever color you want your screen set to, okay? You can select whatever type of color theme that you want. If you want to change it, that's where you would do it. All right, so that is how we set up our defaults on the Radiolink T12D transmitter. It's a very nice, very inexpensive programmable transmitter. I am producing a lot of tips and tutorials on this transmitter. A link to the transmitter will be in the show notes. A link to the playlist will be in the show notes. So whether I produce a video on this on Ground Control RC or on TinkerzLab, all the videos that I produce on this transmitter, the T12D and the T16D, will be in that playlist. So check it out. There's a lot of good information in there, including calibrating, setting up the wireless trainer, setting up your first plane, all that information. All right, so that's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in the TinkerzLab.